In the Users section of the system, you will manage the users of your organization. Before we demonstrate how to add and manage your users, it's important to explain the different types of user roles, their designation and permissions. There are generally 4 different user roles: administrator, service manager, service provider, beneficiary. Let's find out about each separately. Administrator is your super user who can see all data and perform all functions in your organization account, including full user management. Although there is one exception. Ability to add additional administrators are reserved only to those administrators that have indicated representation rights and have been identified and verified by us. Here it is important to note that we only allow your merchant organization to become verified and thus publish and provide services on our platform only after at least one admin with representation rights is identified and verified by us as a platform administrator. It means that this admin must have representation or signature rights to represent a legal person that has registered an account with us. This way, we can ensure that all of the activity performed in this merchant account is performed under the delegation and responsibility of a real representative of a company. In order for us to verify the identity of this admin, that person will have to perform identification using our third-party solution. We will send you a link to initiate such session, or you may do it yourself by using this action button on the right side of the table next to the user. The next role is Service Manager role, which is meant for employees who are managing one or more business units in your organization. For example, that is your local business manager of the studio or other organizational unit. This person will typically be responsible for business unit operations, such as planning of services, employee schedules, customer relations, etc. By default, this user cannot see any users, services, or information in your organization account, however. As soon as you assign this user to a business unit, that user will be able to see and manage users and services in particular business unit where user is assigned. This user cannot add administrators or other service managers, as this is reserved only for admins. The next user role is Service Provider. This is even more limited role than Service Manager. This role is designated for such employees that are not managing services, users, or your business, but mostly are providing services within specific service events, for example, instructors, coaches, tutors, etc. These users have very limited number of available system sections, and their primary function is to overlook and manage their schedule, see information about attendees, register attendees, etc. And the last role that you may come across if you are admin is beneficiary. This role is only used by us as a platform operator for compliance purposes. We as a regulated financial institution have to identify significant beneficiaries of our merchants, screen and identify them. For that purpose, we are including them into your user directory as we perform customer due diligence process. Now, let's add some users to our organization. Press Invite User button, and you may invite your first colleague. Type name, last name, email, phone number, pick role, and indicate business unit to assign user. If you will not assign a business unit, that user will have no information to see in system and will not be able to do any tasks. Please bear in mind that you may not invite users with email that is already used as a parent email on our platform. However, the phone number may still overlap. In case it overlaps with a phone number used by a parent account, and if this user will sign in using phone number, user will be signed in into this merchant back office account. After the invitation is sent, the user will receive an email which will be valid for 7 days to perform registration process. In case you will invite a user who is also a user in other merchant organization, this user will not have to go through full registration process, but only will have to accept invite, and after logging in will be able to switch between different organizations using this button on top of the interface. In case you will invite a new user, they will have to go through a few registration steps: email verification, phone verification, and acceptance of the platform agreement. And don't worry, we have also instructional videos for that process, so everyone can do it. In case you will decide to delete a user, just use the Delete button. After user is placed into a deletion status, this user will be fully deleted in 24 hours, and all of the user data will be anonymized, unless this user is part of other merchant organization. In such case, user will only be removed from organization where user was deleted. Now let's have a look at the user profile section. Click on Actions and Edit button on the right side of the table next to a user. In this section, admins can edit personal profiles of other users, and also users can edit personal data of their own profiles. As you can see, there is another section in the user profile, Public Profile. In this section, each user can have a description that can be published in our marketplace. You may add photo, about, and qualification description, and enable the profile to become public. If this is enabled, this user will be published in your marketplace pages, such as company profile or service descriptions, where this user will be assigned as service provider.